Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we will be continuing in the fourth case of the game, Twisted Karma and His Last Bow, Investigation Part 1. Alright, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Aha! Here's my guest now. My latest client with money to spend.
Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Shirley.
Remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating. Save locating a runway, of course. Don't spare anyone's feelings. Wait, runway? No, runaway. Runaway. My brain is like, wait, what? Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you?
Oh dear, I'm afraid that Shirley can lack a little tact, especially just before the rent is due.
Is he talking about the fact that we probably were going to ask him to help us locate Kazuma? And he already knew. What the? Wait! Oh my god! It's you! Oh! And here I just finished telling my dear friend Sign that I was not gonna... Okay, I just finished telling Sign that in the last episode, I really was not gonna put much brains power and effort into voice acting the two redhead guys because I was like, I'm sure they got specific accents, but they're accents I probably can't really pull off because I kind of struggle with certain European accents sometimes. But I was like, yeah, when it comes to voice acting for the rest of this game, I'm like, I'm not gonna go super hard because I'm just gonna focus on getting through it quickly. That's what I told her pretty much. Lo and behold, someone who makes me want to go all out voice acting is right here. How dare you, ma'am? Why you do this to me? Don't you know I'm trying to get through this game faster? But no, the voice actor in me sees her. My ideal voice, like I told y'all. I can't believe you're back. Okay, well, talk about reusing assets like someone mentioned. Oh, okay, cool. What's up? What's up, lady? What's up? Oh, dear me. I don't care that you're supposed to be British. I'm going to keep giving you this voice because that's my favorite and it suits you perfectly, okay? Mr. Holmes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, please, oh, please. Please find my husband. He's run away. Uh, you said you weren't gonna look for a runaway, but that's what you got. To upset me. I beg your pardon. Never mind. A personal matter. My apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Nodohodo? I didn't say a word. Just karma. Just like the title, the title of the case, karma. Come, my dear madam, be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please.
Of course.
What's the matter, Mr. Sato? Are you, as bemused by the fact that it's yet another person we recognize?
Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently.
Yes, now you come to mention it. As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. Evie Vigil. Okay. Vigil. Like vigilant. Evie Vigil. I'm trying to see. I mean, it's cool. It's not exactly a forwards and backwards the same, so almost like evil. Evil. But she doesn't seem evil, so... I guess it's just the whole vigil thing. Interesting. Interesting name for her. Was not expecting that. I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure. Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam. Sir, don't put on airs. Just say thank you, madam. Being offered a case to solve is reward enough. Oh, Mr. Holmes, you are the picture of benevolence. Don't do that. Now she's not going to want to pay you, you moron. But by the way, here is your, fee. Flat rate. Just have it right there. I will of course make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you will remember your words also. If I might inquire, sir, this gentleman and lady would be? I mean, you should recognize us, just like we recognize you. Oh, me? What I am about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest confidence, you understand? Oh, these are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this pair anything which you may say to me. I see. I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing. Excuse you? Why did I ever get my hopes up? I thought you were gonna say he's my investigative partner or something nice, you know? Okay. Hello, ma'am. Hello, hello. She is very pretty, though. Forgive me for asking, Mrs. Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps? Oh, my! Pshaw. My dear fellow, what is your intention? Are you hitting on this gorgeous lady in front of me? I thought you were gay. How could you? Clearly, you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion. Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week? Was it a whole week ago? Well, I guess it was a whole week ago for you guys, huh? Ah, I knew I recognized her. Yep. To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine. I am so glad I don't have a face cam. Because if you guys saw, like, in order to do certain voices, it's like I know other voice actors go through this because I've seen it, right? There's like a subconscious thing where you kind of get into character and you just make certain gestures and faces and stuff that are really ridiculous, but you have to do it for the character in order for the voice to come out the way you want it to. So I'm over here doing the most ridiculous faces, the most ridiculous over-the-top gestures just for this woman, like filling up on my face and my chest and like over the top, over sexualized, like stuff I would never do in a million years. But for her, I have to. So I'm so glad you guys can't see it. But it's fun. I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now. It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean. Pardon? Well, it does seem like he is half the time because we're always like, excuse me, what was that? But I did hear that that's a thing in Japan, right? That they always like to ask for clarification, and that's something I remember that comes up in Danganronpa a lot. And during like I think it was the Game Grumps that they were playing it, and they were kind of like confused and questioning that, and I saw people commenting and explaining that. I think Coco and I even talked about it. Um, but yeah, that's just something it's a cultural thing that they like to clarify and ask questions. So they'll say, "Excuse me, what was that? What do you mean?" Clarification kind of things. But that's something that I think it depends on the culture, but at least in my world, in my life, I don't think we do that very often. We probably should do it more often. That way we avoid any miscommunication issues that might arise. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was frippery, really. Nothing more. Frippery? That's a new one. I'm too lazy to look it up. If y'all want to put the definition or sign's gonna tell me later, maybe, feel free. I appreciate it. Now look what you've started, Mr. Holmes. Thank you very much. I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner. Wow. Yes. Yeah, right. Tell us about your husband, madam. Mr. Vigil, my daily, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here. Okay. So his name is Daily Vigil? Got it. And she's Evie? Like evening, maybe? Evening Vigil and he's Daily, I guess, maybe? Maybe that's the pun. An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married? It will be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably. Any children? I don't know why I feel like maybe not, but you never know. As it would appear, I need only look at you to know these things. Oh gosh. Your dress is the latest style, your heart clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct? That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on me. Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or other. Oh, that is exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Holmes. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will? What exactly is your husband's line of work? He's a warder at the prison. Ah, vigil, warder, prison, you say? Why do we keep bringing up the prison? I mean, the prison was right next to the graveyard, right? This feels significant, you guys. My alarm bells are going off in the back of my mind. And he's missing? Is this connected back to the professor case? I mean, right now it doesn't seem like it, but it's too early, and other than it being in the prison, which is right next to the graveyard, I don't know. A guard. That is somewhat unusual. Okay, prison warder. So, your husband is a prison warder. That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder. Wait, was that the chief one they were talking about? I thought it was a different name. I could have sworn they had a different name that they had mentioned before. Mikotoba and the judge. Or is Chief Warder different from the chief, like the warden, prison warden? I don't know. Indeed, I see. Well, Chief Prison Warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation. Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see that they're carried out. Dreadful punishments? Does she mean capital punishments? And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for that extra responsibility, he is oh, that word again. This word. He is remunerated more handsomely than the other warders. I feel like I just talked about that word recently, but it might have been in my other Let's Play. So it's just funny that here it is again. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors. Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged? Barclay Prison, Mr. Holmes. Really? Barclay? Oh, a fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there is a large cemetery just behind it. Yep. Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery. Yeah, this is all connected. I think we're already putting the pieces together. Uh-oh. No. Lowgate Cemetery. The very place we were discussing in court. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable, my dear fellow. And yet undeniable. Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I'm afraid you've lost me. Oh, pay no heed, madam. Pay no heed. A private matter. This can't really be a coincidence, can it? I'm so glad that they're smart enough to pick up the, the pieces. And it's not just Sherlock, it's Ryunosuke as well. Oof. Alright, me and him. Come on, Ryunosuke, we're on the same page here. Like, this shady. The timing and everything. Come on, man. Your husband's disappearance. Uh-oh. What does he know? So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance. When did you realize he was missing? Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday. I'm sorry? Yesterday? That really is recent. Laughably so. The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not at all out of the ordinary for him not to return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day? That has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever can have happened? My dear Mrs. Vigil, please calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police? Why, naturally, but sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for one day. I do hate that. I really, really do. I hate that the society... I know they have their reasons, but you would think a loved one would know best, right? That if someone who has a normal routine or behavior breaks that routine and behavior, that something must be wrong. Something might have happened to them. And I know they don't... If the problem is money and resources, right? That's always what it comes down to. But it's horrible because they're wasting time by making you wait a certain amount of time before you can officially report it and say, oh, they've been missing long enough for us to actually worry. Yeah, now you're gonna worry, but that person's probably freaking dead because you didn't act fast enough. I mean, yeah, maybe they were already dead, even if you had jumped on it right away. But you never know. You never know. If you had acted quicker, maybe you could have saved that person. It's just so frustrating to me. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. And I just don't know if there's really a solution, you know? Because I don't see that ever changing. I think the only time they ever, that doesn't apply is for, like, children. Right? Children, and I'm not sure, but maybe for, does that also for people, like, elderly who are sickly and, who have, like, dementia or something? Maybe it applies for them too, and any other, like, special cases like that, maybe. But that really sucks. You go missing, you're screwed. I was asked to wait patiently at home. In truth, Mrs. Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway. Oh, thank you, Mr. Holmes. And furthermore, let me assure you, a chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it. You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention. You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Mrs. Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation. Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir. Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure. So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Holmes. Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. Okay, photographic print received from Mrs. Vigil in order to aid with locating her missing husband. He appears to have no particularly distinctive facial features. It's not in color, so I don't know if he's a redhead. I'm just, thinking. Thank you. Now allow me to show you the door. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Holmes. You've been simply marvelous.
You know, I think it's every time, Shirley. But how do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure?
I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of day tomorrow. If by that time I've successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Don't look at me with those bleeding eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent. And what did you make of it? Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked. At Barclay Prison, I mean. Ah, so you noted that.
Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery.
Yeah, the rear of the prison. Being haunted by the ghosts of the condemned convicts.
Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated.
The professor. And now a warder from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar. Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean, would you? Do my work for me, I'm sure he'll run off and do something himself as well. It's the prison governor you want? No doubt the man is equally worried. Oh, governor. Okay, that's the... in place of a warden, then a governor is what the term they're using here. Got it. But aren't you going to go yourself? Well, you have to help earn some money here because you're not really paying for rent and you're staying with me, so... Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen out with this hair. Don't you have a hat? Can't you just put on a hat, sir? Oh, I don't know if his hat will really cover all of this, though. That's the problem. Really? Is this really going to hinder you? You need to fix your hair, then. You could just say you're undercover or something. I don't know. I think it's cute, though. I like the red. But didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair? That was a quite different matter. So, I leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you excuse me, I'm rather busy. Of course you are. Well. Did we... Let's see. Is there anything else in particular? No? Just the shape of his hair. I wonder what that is in the background, though. It almost looks like a castle or something. Wonder if that will be important. Fancy. Looks rather fancy, huh? Yeah, I don't know. It's just really blurry. New location has been added.
Oh, wherever we go, the great detective's living room is always full of enigmatic marvels.
Let's head up for a sec. Anything up here? Oh, what to do. Kind of like when we go to our office in the other games. Gotcha. It's good news that Professor Mikotoba arrived safely, isn't it?
Yes, it's wonderful. And the fact that Father has been invited to this important international event really makes me very proud to be his daughter.
Your father, Judge Jigoku, us, and Kazuma, of course. There's an ever-increasing number of Japanese here in Britain's capital, isn't there?
Well, yes, I suppose so. But London does have a population of 6 million people, so I think we're still a minority.
Susato-san's father, who came here as a visiting student 16 years ago, and Kazuma. It's almost as if some great power has been at work, drawing them here across the ocean to London. And I feel as though the waters are starting to swell again now. Okay. Anything important here? Oops. Sorry. Just trying to move it. Talk about his messy desk again. You see? I've been keeping my desk beautifully covered in papers as always.
You really must tidy it all up, Mr. Naruhodo. No more excuses.
But, Mrs. Sato, the way I see it, all these papers building up on my desk like this are a reminder of my wonderfully diverse daily life.
I like to leave them as they are, so I never forget how lucky I am to have such varied experiences. In that case, you should definitely have a thorough tidy. Then you'll be able to see your papers building up all over again and feel that joy renewed. Still can't beat her in an argument, even though I'm the lawyer here.
Hey, she did pretty well in her first time just filling in as a lawyer.
That Daruma doll is still winking at me, look.
Still reminds me of Majima from the Like a Dragon Yakuza series.
I wonder when he'll finally get his other eye filled in. Yes, I wonder. Well, you should know, Susato-san. I entrusted the task to you. The truth is, I have already decided when that will be. What? Really? When? That's my little secret.
Oh, progressive story going on there.
Your room across the hall is undisturbed, of course. I don't suppose I'd be permitted to see inside now that you're back, though, would I? You know very well that only Iris is allowed inside. Yes, I heard you two giggling together in there again last night.
That's cute.
You can visit Mr. Holmes in his room, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, Binks, no.
Last time I did that, he tried to convince me to drink some strange concoction he'd mixed up.
Oh no. Sherlock, what are you up to? Don't do that. Don't do any weird experiments on Naruhodo.
The steam is rising gently from the kettle as always. Yes, it doesn't feel right somehow unless it is. But the steam has an unusual scent today. Perhaps the sweet potatoes that I brought back from Japan are with me already.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, I heard that, you know. Tears of joy, Mr. Sato. From my mouth.
He's like, I want it. Oh, the argument again? Is that what's gonna happen?
The spade is still here. Look. Please, Mr. Naruhodo, it's not a spade, as I think you know well. It's a shovel. Didn't take long to reignite that old argument. Ah, I have an idea. Let's give the implement a name, like Professor Harebrain named his tools. Oh, I never thought of doing that, so we could stop arguing. From now on, then, let's call it Ryunosuke.
What?
No. It's clearly much more of a Susato. The old argument has taken a new and unexpected turn, it seems.
Why would you want to name it after either one of you? What? You should give it a different name.
Whenever you serve me tea, it always takes me back to Japan. I know you're not particularly fond of the bitter taste, are you? So I do always try to pick out less bitter matcha for you. She does often serve up an unusually mellow blend, that's true. But the anticipation of the taste in my mouth makes me bitterly worried anyway. It is very difficult for you, isn't it?
I'm sorry. If I go to Japan, they'd probably hate me because I don't think I'd be able to handle drinking tea the way they do. I have to have like something sweet in it, like sugar or honey or something to like combat it, because just plain old bitter tea, like no. Without any flavor added. It needs sweetness in there. Not a lot, just enough that it's like not miserable. Okay. Oh, her desk looks so cute. It was plain before. Aw. I love that.
My desk is just as it was before I left. Sumi ink and a calligraphy brush, even though we're in England now. It strikes me as typically you, Mrs. Sato, and typically not you at the same time. Well, I do enjoy all the wonderful new things to come out of the West in the Cultural Revolution, of course. But I'm not ready to give up my brush just yet. And anyway, Susato-san can write more neatly with a brush than most people can with a pen. Practice makes perfect, as they say.
Cute.
Okay. All the sea life seemed very content in there, I must say.
I've noticed something recently, actually. The anemones breed at a most extraordinary rate.
Oh, really?
It's a mystery why the whole seabed isn't buried in a mountain of them, actually.
Oh, how splendid. That really is a mystery, isn't it?
I wish there was someone here to explain Susato-san's strange reaction to that.
How was that strange? I mean, I guess? Maybe because she was so excited about it? Aw. I don't know. Anyway, I guess that's it. Let's head on out. I guess we're going to the prison governor's office. Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing onto a lonely burial ground. Its floor-high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Ah, it's probably him. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. Oh, well, isn't that pleasant? All these chains and weapons and stuff. Ooh. Oh, that poor bird. It looks stuffed in there. That's way too tight of a cage for that big bird. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Alright, November 1st, Barclay Prison, Governor's Office. Oh, he's a big man. What a broad back right in front of us. Oh god. I bet she has like some kind of Irish accent or something. Irish is so hard. Oh, there's too many people to voice already in this game, and then there's ones with like really different accents that I'm like, oh no. Ooh. Oh, I can hear the voice I want to do in my head, but I don't think my mouth can do it. Like, I don't have the skill for it. Damn, that sucks. I wish I could do that voice. I can literally hear the voice I would give him. Ugh. This place is full of hardened criminals. No. Why it turned Russian? If I could should like emulate. This place is full of hardened criminals. I cannot remember the last time a civilian was done here. Oh, almost, almost. This place is full of hardened criminals. No. When I want to, I think the issue I'm having is doing a male version of it. That's the problem. Is that I think I'm hearing the female in my ear when I need to do male. This place is full of hardened criminals. I cannot remember the last time a civilian was done here. Oh, I think that's the best I could do. The struggle, you guys. And you didn't want to talk to an inmate, but to me. Ah, alright, that's the best I can do. Oh, Jesus. The struggle. Oh, hello, big man. What's up? Do you ken who I am? Do you ken? Do you ken who I am? I'm the governor, Barry Caden, Oh god. Irish, no! I love the Irish accent, I just can't. Oh, it's so hard. Yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Reno Skinner-Hodo, defense lawyer. And an Easterner, I see. Does that mean... Yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan? Did you say Japan? Yes? Well, there's no any of your kind here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, eh? I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. Anyway, we came to ask you some questions about... Okay.
We didn't like to be so direct, but I've no intention of speaking with the likes of you, suspicious-looking Easterners. Now get out of my hair.
So, as soon as he finds out that we're from Japan, he reacts like this. That surely means... I think it's because of the professor case. You think so too? 10 years ago, Genshin Asogi, also known as the Professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison.
Right, Metanon. You're sniffing around the Buddha case, aren't you? You're agents, are you? Part of the Professor's Great Web, no doubt.
No, not at all. We just...
Get going with you, before I punch your roots out.
We're going. Clearly, the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. We're not going to get anywhere here. Unless we can somehow prove to this man that there's nothing suspicious about us.
Oh, doing this man's voice is going to be a struggle for me. I hope we don't get to talk to him too much in this case. I want to do it justice, but it's hard. No.
Governor Kaden. What are you thinking, Mrs. Sato? I feel sure that name came up in conversation recently somewhere.
Yeah, your father.
I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling.
Maybe we could go talk to your papa. Oh, there he is. Yo, we need help getting through to this Irishman. Because he don't want to talk to us, like, at all. It's really frustrating. Oh, we can't... Okay, I guess we have to examine him to talk to him.
That's Professor Mikotoba over there. Oh, hello you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked. But where is Judge Jigoku? Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taken himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs. Having only just arrived in the country today? Goodness, he's full of energy. Professor, you mentioned something before? About how you'd known the prison governor at Barclay Prison. Oh, Governor Kaden, you mean? So it is the same man. Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners. I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Oh, would you? That would be wonderful if you have time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment.
You're busy? You're just sitting there reading a newspaper.
Busy drinking coffee on a comfortable settee?
See?
Now, I have rather a lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
I think it was probably obvious on your face.
You Mikotobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts?
I mean, if that's a good explanation for why all these years Maya's been able to read Phoenix's thoughts, then I guess so?
Let's not fall out now. I have an idea.
Okay. He wrote something.
What's he writing on that piece of paper?
Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully, when he sees my name, he'll change his tune.
Ah, thank you.
Alright, note of introduction on our behalf from Professor Mikotoba to Governor Kaden. Hopefully now he'll want to talk to us. Good luck then. Oh, okay. Quick and easy. Great. Thanks. Bye-bye. Let's go. Alright, you big man. You big man who... I'm just gonna struggle, but... Oh well. At least he's different. He's a unique, different character, so I like it.
If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor Kaden.
Oh, sir. You cannot pull the wool over my eyes, you good for nothing Japanese student. Mikotoba. That young jock from the forensics laboratory. That Mikotoba?
Yes, exactly, him.
Wait, a jock? How is he a jock? He was a student studying medicine. Was he also a jock? Was he like, unless he means jock in like a different way. Unless he's like good at sports or something and we don't know.
Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Eugene Mikotoba's daughter, Susato.
Jinx, you're the young man's daughter? And you didn't think to mention that before? Wait, he said afore? Whatever. I think with him, I'm not even gonna be able to like read the sentence the way it's written completely. It's just gonna come out the way it's gonna come out.
I do apologize.
I mean, yeah, maybe we could have saved time and she would have just told him. And I guess that would have worked instead of going all the way back and getting a letter. Oh well. I will. You'll just take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? Oh! He's like this big man with this cute little teacup. That looks really cute. Like, he comes off all big and tough and mean, but maybe he's actually like a really nice softie inside. Who knows? And do not forget to try one of these wee handcuff biscuits. Oh, those are handcuffs? Okay. Did you bake them yourself, sir? What a change in personality. Did he really like her dad that much then?
Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now.
Yeah. So then, what can I do for you, hen?
Well, we're currently investigating a case. It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing.
Missing?
That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor.
I have not heard anything of the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison.
Oh,
Did he come to work? Or did he just call out sick, so that's why you wouldn't think he's missing?
but how can that be? It's Mr. Daily Vigil, your chief warder?
Vigil?
That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now.
Oh, what happened?
Clearly that means something to him. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir?
Aye, of course. Gosh, maybe it'd be easier if I just tried to talk pirate talk for him. But it feels weird if I was to just go straight pirate, because his persona is not pirate just because he's Irish. You know what I mean? Ugh. Just I'm doing the best I can. That those accents are it's difficult for me. I'm trying to do you justice because you're interesting. We understand that Mr. Vigil is the chief warder here at the prison. Aye, that he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to their job. No doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Was? Sorry, did you say was? Aye. He does not work here no more. He left the job. Oh. And he didn't tell his wife? Huh. You know what? I didn't say it earlier and I should have. I don't know why. But because of how pretty she was and how plain he was, and the description of their lifestyle together and how he pampers her and takes care of her and blah blah blah, my instant thought was, oh, they remind me of Desiree and Ron Delight from a previous game. Interesting. I wonder if that's kind of what's going on here. Storyline wise, it feels a little similar now. Oh my. When was this exactly? There's a question. When was the boat? Like, it cannot have been much less than 10 years ago now. 10 years? Like around the time of the professor, maybe? But that's a long time for him to still be giving her a good lifestyle without her knowing. Huh, so what has he been doing to make good money? What? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago? Aye, as I mind it. Deacon, I have not heard the fella's name in all that time. That's a worry if he's gone missing, though. But Mrs. Vigil made no mention of it. I think perhaps, Mr. Naruhodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. Governor Caden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here? That's, important, is it? Yes, I believe it may be. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago, yeah? Ah! Which was exactly when the professor was being held at this prison. Here we go. So, Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of Chief Warder 10 years ago, you're telling us. What happened to make him leave the job? In actual fact, he did not leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. You mean he was dismissed? It was after a particular walk. Sorry, a walk? Aye, that's our word for it in here. A walk to the gallows. An execution? It's the job of the chief warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions, you see. Oh. So they involved him in the cover-up or whatever happened to Professor then? Was he just like a scapegoat? Oh dear. Only Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk he was manning. What did he do? I'm sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. but I can tell you that it's very, very rare for a chief warder to be relieved of his post.
But why wouldn't Mrs. Vigil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here.
I would not know. I wouldn't know it can. I wouldn't can.
I don't know why why they do Ken instead of no.
I wouldn't know anything about that, I'm afraid.
I don't know. That's the thing that's throwing me off every time I see the K-E-N. Whew. Can you perhaps answer what... maybe he's Scottish rather than Irish, but even then, I can't do Scottish accent. I know there's like a distinction, but they're both really thick and really difficult to master. Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal?
And what would that be, Hen?
That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the professor's? My thoughts exactly.
I'm sorry. I really am, but I'm at no liberty to answer that.
I see.
Okay. Well, let's talk about help Papa.
My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted.
The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with each other. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research, do you know?
Yes, I can imagine. The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable.
Your father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard, in the basement of St. Sinners. It's still in use today.
St. Sinners. That's come up before, I'm sure. Yes, that's right. We've been there.
Mikotoba and I oft used to ride in a carriage together and negotiate terms.
For more fresh material, I suppose.
Aye, and we used to sit in here for hours and gab on about dissection and all sorts. Oh, it takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a plate of cough biscuits, of course.
How charming.
He was a good fellow, your father. Reliable and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese.
Because of Genshin Asogi, I suppose.
Well, I cannot tell you anything else.
Thank you so much for your time, Governor.
Oh, one moment for your away hen. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison.
Maybe a little clue, huh? What is it?
That's Vigil's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course.
Oh my! Are you sure?
Aye, it's no trouble at all. It's not the original, mind.
Okay, the harsh reprimand incurred by Mr. Vigil 10 years ago that resulted in him losing his job as chief warder of Barclay Prison. Thank you very much, Governor Keaton.
Well, in return, Do me a favor and never come back here. That case is closed. Hey, that would do me a favor too, so I don't have to voice that.
Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being.
I guess we don't get to really examine his office then, huh? Unless we do have to come back later. Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Holmes with what we found out about Mr. Vigil. What will he tell Mrs. Vigil, I wonder? Oh, okay, cool. We can examine really quick before we go then.
Yeah, let's look.
Look, we have an opportunity here now while the governor is away.
Mr. Metahodo, you could be imprisoned if you were caught.
That's a good point. Perhaps not then. What? We can't look around at anything? Is that what you're saying? We can't look at anything. Great. Dang nabbit. Pretty much we just gotta go. No. Well, maybe we'll be back. Okay, well, I saw the time, so this is a good place to leave it then. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.